thing about sports is you play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
And now, the W with Walls and the crew.
Good morning.
Where winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. On 100.1 FM.
Good morning.
And Facebook Live.
Good morning. Good morning. Right back like we never left. Another Saturday morning with the W Show. Kansas City, talking sports and pop culture. You're listening to us on 100.1 FM, 1 Kansas City Radio. If this is your first time tuning in and checking us out, we greatly appreciate it. Thank you for making us a part of your day. We are live on location yet again for another Saturday morning. This time we're at the Keystone Innovation District, right here on 18th Street. Just outside of downtown, south side of downtown. I guess you can say south side of downtown, if that makes sense. For a Juneteenth jump off, and that's put on by KC Black Owned. How is everyone's morning?
Good.
Man, like the song says, sunglasses in Advil.
Last night was mad real. How was Nexus last night?
It was cool.
It was good.
It was good.
I see Broderick walked in kind of gingerly this morning.
Yeah.
Shades on. He had the sunglasses on.
He did.
Real talk.
In just a little bit, we'll be joined down here inside of the Keystone Innovation District with a lot of vendors. Q, this is the second annual event. You were here last year. What can people expect when they come down here?
Just a lot of different vendors, especially from a lot of Kansas City small business community.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just clothing vendors. It's a little of everything.
Right.
I think there's going to be a bartending service here today. So it's a little bit of everything.
Nice. We'll be here right before the afternoon gets kicked off here inside of the Keystone Innovation District right here on 18th Street.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a lot to talk about coming up today on the show. This is it's going to be interesting. Big 12 officially has invited BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF to join the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
PGA Tour. They're suspending players for the Live League. That's the Saudi-backed league. And that, Phil Mickelson and company, those guys are getting big paydays for joining.
It's a quick turnaround from last week.
It is. Tiger was he was offered $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have taken it.
Yeah.
But we're going to dive into that a little bit later. And in about 30 minutes, we'll have our Sneakers of the Week coming up in our Hate or Love It segment. Let's get to today's headlines.
And now, here are the biggest sports headlines from this week. We bring them to you every Saturday morning on the W with Walls and the crew on 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Now, Big 12 officially invites BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF to be a part of the Big 12. Their response to the departures of Oklahoma and Texas official on Friday and formally invited them.
I like the move. Of course, you're still going to have and it starts in 2023, but you're still going to have your top tier team that's in the Big 12, which is KU. Of course, not football, but you'll still have KU that's going to dominate in basketball like usual. Cincinnati, for the past couple of years, they've come to the forefront in football. You still have K-State that's there that, sometimes they've been a roller coaster over the last 10, 15 years. And so I like the move. I like, BYU, Houston, Central Florida. I think it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Now they have 12 teams. They're a full league, and the Big 12, they were at risk of dissolving the Big 12. If they had one or two more teams that are like, hey, we're going to test the waters and jump to the SEC, which I think eventually, in the grand scheme of things, there won't be any like SEC or Big 12. It'll be just college sports. So I like it.
Yeah, I'd like the move, especially for Cincinnati and Houston, somewhere for UCF as well. Those are really three programs, like you said, that have been emerging, whether it's in football or basketball.
Right.
Because we've seen Cincinnati do well in basketball as well.
Yep.
I like it outside of BYU. That's
where
weird.
Andy Reid went to school, man. You can't diss BYU.
I mean, I can, but
Daniel, BYU.
Look, Daniel Sorensen went to BYU. Come on, man.
It makes sense. It makes all the sense. But no, I wonder like the dynamics of how that like a Mormon school like that fits in to the Big 12, because that's going to be the least recruited school. Like in 2022, 2023, I'm not trying to go to a school where I could barely even look at the opposite sex. So
didn't think about that part.
Yeah. So, but again, like that's the competitive advantage that some schools have, and especially when you get into that Utah area, there are a lot of Mormon schools that are very different, and we've seen it in college sports, kids getting kicked off of teams for simply having a girlfriend. So
yeah. And I forgot to mention Baylor. Baylor's a huge football school. They're always in top of the Big 12, along with you got Oklahoma State, Iowa State, TCU. So it's going to be some good competition in football, but basketball, you already know that it's KU, Baylor, Iowa State's like right there, and then K-State. So
you could say that, but Houston is a school that can creep up there. And not saying that Houston's legacy is close to KU's, but again, when you look at recruitment, if you're 18, 19, 20 years old,
H-Town, baby.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, are you going to go visit Lawrence, Kansas? Or are you going to Houston in the middle of one of the best nightlife cities in America?
Until someone tells me, like, all right, all these guys, look at the NBA, and he went to the league from KU. He went to the league from KU. Who went to the league from Houston?
What does that matter? Who went to the league from Marquette before
D-Wade?
Before D-Wade? Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, we have kids now that are looking to set a new precedent. Like, you're not looking at kids that are just willing to
a certain extent, though,
to follow tradition. No, it's not to a certain extent, because you look at Dion and the push towards HBCUs being on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Like, again, these kids want to make history.
To a certain extent, because you got to remember, the kids now are following who's going to pay me the most money in the NIL deal.
And that's what I'm saying.
And so if Houston can't compete with KU just, and we'll talk about it later,
Houston can't compete with
NIL deals.
You're
right
saying
now,
a school in Texas can't compete with
not right
KU?
Now. They may in the near future, but not right now.
I don't know, Steve.
Not right now. And
I don't know, Steve.
Now,
if I'm looking at the economics of,
they got oil money, of course.
I'm not even talking about oil money. If I'm looking at the economics of the demographics between Lawrence, Kansas, and Houston, Texas, a port city,
a perennial team.
Sorry, Steve.
Like, they know when. Look, would you rather have your money put within a questionable team, or a team that's always going to be on that in the national spotlight?
Always.
How do you know? KU's always has a national game.
I mean,
and I'm just speaking basketball, not any other sports.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Houston is not a bad school.
It's not,
and it's not in a bad location. So again, these kids, they definitely want to be around their friends. They definitely want to be around a good time, but then they also want to make money.
Yeah.
And if I'm looking at, again, the demographics of a city like Houston that once had 2 area codes versus Lawrence, Kansas, like, come on, Steve.
And and everybody knows I'm not the one that's gonna big up KU. Like, I'm just not.
Know.
But I think that's where you are, and for us guys like our age, we're used to tradition. We're used to the blue blood schools. We're used to all that. Now you got kids They don't care about that because again, NIL deals,
Right.
I can make if I can go play at Marquette for 4 years or 2 or 3,
Them dudes ain't going to play for 4 years though.
And that's what I'm saying. If I can go there for 2 or 3 years, make 6-7 figures in that, and then I'm confident in my ability to go to the NBA combine and show off my skills like a Jordan Poole. Like there's several guys that come through. Talent always makes its way through.
And you mentioned that, but like if I'm a guy, and KU's going to get the stars, right? But if I'm a kid, like let's just take Ochai or Christian Brown, guys that weren't highly recruited, that go to KU. You see guys and other players know they were on the AAU circuit with these dudes, and they know it's like, all right, man, I can go here. And Bill Self's going to turn me into a star.
Yeah.
Like I can go here without all of the talent in the world, but I'm going to be able to stay here. You look at guys like Perry Ellis. He wasn't a huge star, but he played for 4 years and Bill Self got him to where he needed to be.
And you're naming a lot of local guys. So yeah, like these local guys can do that. But then you look at
even guys that aren't from here. Look at Devontae Graham, Frank Mason. Those guys weren't from here.
Yes, like I give you all that because again, they're coming to look for, guys like that are coming to look to play for Bill Self.
Right.
But when you have guys that are top recruits, and I'm just looking to go somewhere where I can go play for a couple of years, I don't think Bill Self is going to carry that type of mystique too. And not even to say that, because again, it's not Bill Self. Again, I think location matters. And a lot of times that's going to matter a lot more than playing in Lawrence, Kansas.
I don't know, man. It just depends on the kid. It just depends on the guy. Because you get a lot of these dudes that are from big cities that are like, man, I just rather just go play, somewhere that's a little smaller.
Sometimes
you see all these NFL dudes that come here from big cities.
NFL guys do that because they understand I might have to go to a Tuscaloosa. I might have to go to but again, basketball is very different.
True.
Basketball is a very different sport.
Now, PGA Tour suspends players in Saudi-backed league, including Mickelson, Dustin, and Johnson. Steve, we'll start with you.
Oh man, this is interesting. It's like now you have another player in the market with the LIV tournament, and they have a lot of money. They have a lot of money to throw around. They have, I believe, close to $500 billion or some crazy number like that. And I bet it could be way off, but they have a lot of money to throw at players. Phil Mickelson, they offered him $100 million to come and play. They offered Dustin Johnson $200 million. So these guys are doing what's best for their family, and you see a lot of these other players that are in the PGA. They're like, oh, well, if you're going to do something for money, then that always ends up bad. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. You're going to do what's best for you. And it's golf at the end of the day. You can play in 2 different leagues. And I understand the PGA bylaws, but they haven't had another competitor. And now that they have one, and someone who is able to offer this money, and I think they're kind of like, oh man, what are we going to do? This could dissolve our league.
Yeah. And
which would open it up for guys like us,
Well, guys like you, because I'm not hanging out at nobody's country club for too long. But no, that I like it because it adds a level of competition to a sports league. Like the PGA Tour is what we know of as golf. So my question is, when does this happen with football? When does this? It doesn't happen with baseball. Baseball is still a worldwide sport.
When someone with enough money, like the Rock's coming.
No, and I'm not even saying that. I'm saying like a different country, like Dubai.
Yeah.
Because again, like Dubai might have some crazy laws, but it's not America.
And again, location, back to the location.
And that's what I'm saying. Like you said it, like what can I get out of it? And I think that's where a lot of players are now. Like it's not necessarily getting rid of the team mentality. I think a lot of players, especially if you are a top talent, like you're going to create your own destiny somewhere. And I think that's what's happening with this. Like the Phil Mickelsons, the Dustin Johnsons, who was the other kid we talked about the
Bryson
other day?
DeChambeau.
Yeah, it's a lot of different players that are going to end up jumping ship, and I love it because again, we're breaking tradition.
Yeah,
like, and a lot of these traditions that we've grown to love and all that, like a lot of that's just going to end up being broken, and I love it because I'm waiting for the demise of the NFL.
But if my guy say a tradition like any other, unlike any other, but yeah, and I think another cool thing about it is these guys are going to be able to play in the U.S. I mean, they have a tournament or a match in Chicago, in Miami, Boston. So of course you're going to have some games. Like the first match was in London.
So it's not going to be exclusively.
It's not.
To
No,
Dubai.
it's not.
Okay.
It's not exclusively to Dubai. I don't even think they have any in Dubai.
I mean, and that shows the level of money that they have.
Yeah, and so it's going to be interesting. And so like even the cut, like so normally let's just take the Masters for instance. You have anywhere between 75 150 golfers. They go out. You got to make the first day cut, and that way you're able to play Saturday and Sunday. There is no cut. You automatically advance. I believe there's 50, so there's no cut, and then you automatically. So they have some different rules that they abide by, and I think it's really dope. It really is.
Yeah, and again, I love it because we're breaking tradition. And I mean, when you look at and I kept saying Dubai, it's a Saudi-backed team, but when you look at a lot of just foreign money, it's gonna move mountains. It's really gonna move mountains, and I mean I love it for them because sheesh, like it's a lot of money on the table.
Yeah, and Jazz, Natalie Nye says hi, Jazz. If you're on our Facebook chat, we appreciate you joining us, watching us on Facebook.
Hi. Now Tiger Woods reject nearly $1 billion to join mega money rebel Saudi Golf Tour, reveals Greg Norman.
That's a lot of money, but once you're already a billionaire, it's like, all right, what's another billion?
What you mean? What's another billion? Do you know how much a billion is?
I know how much it is.
Yeah,
but you already got a billion, so you're not pressed to go and get another.
Sorry,
I'm
sorry.
I'm speaking clearly for Tiger, not for myself.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, but I understand him turning it down. But for me, that's when the curiosity kicks in because I think I talked about this in pre-production. Like what are you binded to?
Right.
Like again, like I talked about BYU
tradition,
being a Mormon school, Saudi, and like what type of religious restrictions would you have? What type of like what's in your contract?
A lot of golfers like to drink.
No, because $1 billion, a
lot of money.
So what do I have to do? What am I held to? Like what?
And it was surprising just because Tiger knows what it's like not to be on the PGA Tour for a couple years, right? Like so, and I think it's more or less tradition. And I don't know exactly what Tiger's thoughts are. I love to hear the reason why I'm sure it'll come out at some point, but like. This is getting interesting because if they have $1 billion to offer Tiger, that means they can split that $1 billion up, and you get $100 million, you get $300 million, you get another.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because you know what $100 million can do in America?
A lot, and this is tax free. Don't get it twisted.
I'm not passing that up. I'm sorry, but I guess you like you had alluded to reading between the lines. I guess. I feel like the chunk almost sounds too good to be true in some ways. Like, how is this money coming about? What are the rules? Like, I don't know. I would have to read the fine print, but then again, I don't know if I'm passing up $1 billion. So.
Well, we know these oil companies is getting the money.
True.
We do know that as high as gas prices are. so we know the money's there.
True.
But it's like, all right, is he going to come to my pocket?
Facts. Now, current ex-NFL players react to Jack Del Rio's dust-up comments about insurrection. Let's hear what he said first.
Let's get right down to it. What did I ask? A simple question. Why are we not looking into those things? If we're going to talk about it, why are we not looking into those things? Because it's kind of hard for me to say. I can realistically look at it. I see the images on TV. people's livelihoods are being destroyed, businesses are being burned down, no problem. And then we have a dust up at the Capitol where there's nothing burned down. And we're not going to talk about, we're going to make that a major deal. I just think it kind of two standards. And if we apply the same standard and we're going to be reasonable with each other, let's have a discussion. That's all it was. Let's have a discussion. We're Americans. Let's talk it through. I'm for us, you know, having a great opportunity to have a fulfilled life. Like I said, every which way I can. When I'm here, it's about love and respect. I love my guys. I respect my guys. But I also love the fact that I'm an American, and that means I'm free to express myself. And I'm not afraid to do that.
That will get you fined by the NFL $100,000. plus public humiliation for those not smart comments. Not going to say the words that I wanted to say, but very not smart. Like
Ignorant.
Yeah. A little bit worse than ignorant. Like,
and you know what's funny about that is the story that resurfaced when he was a Chief, and he ended up beating up Otis Taylor.
What was that? I didn't hear about that.
Oh yeah, it was Dan Lebitard had posted about it. When Jack Del Rio played for the Chiefs, Otis Taylor was retired, still working for the Chiefs.
Right.
And Jack Del Rio he had no idea who he was. So there's an NFL great that a great from a team that you're playing on.
Yeah. And
he ended up beating him up in the parking lot. His photos and all that. So I mean, it shows a pattern in Jack Del Rio back then. And it's funny that it resurfaced because, yes, he's stupid. He's just a dumb jock. So when people talk about these dumb jocks, they're talking about people like Jack Del Rio.
But comments like that are the reason why the insurrection happened. You know, because people look deeply into that. Are like, oh, he's for it? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Jack. But man, you can't go around just saying dumb stuff. You just can't. And then to have your I don't know who it was up here that said that his teammate, all of his team is black. Like besides a few, 90% of them, I would say, is black. So you can't. Come on, man. And I would be frustrated with him
as a player. Like at that point, of course, I get it. How he says that you can have your own opinions and he has the right to express those. But at that point, I'm looking at my coach like I just lost respect for you. Like, what makes you think that I should perform and work hard when you don't respect me as a human being in my race?
Yeah.
And again, all for expressing your opinions and what you want to do. But at the same time, it's like there's got to be a mutual respect.
And have we noticed, like, now that a lot of these different people that jump into the media that talk about, oh, I'm just expressing my opinion, like it's always something racist. Like it's never nothing like, oh, I think everyone should have free healthcare. Like that's never like an opinion they hold. Like it's always I want to give my opinion that I'm stepping on other people. Like it because that's my opinion, and I think that's the way it should be. So again, it's a dumb jock. Like he in his statement, if we want to look into it, like what was the it guy? Yeah. Like he can't even
and if you have to preface your statement with that, like, hey, I have the right to express this, then you should already know that you probably shouldn't be saying it on a public stage like that. Or if you have to wrap it up like that, oh, I don't mean to step on anybody's toes. Okay, well then you shouldn't have even said it in the first place.
Because they would have gave him about 30 more seconds and he would have been like, I have a black friend.
Some of my best friends are black. But here's the thing too, that people is kind of they're looking over a little bit. What part of the country is he saying that in? He's he's a coach of the Washington Commanders in DC, where it happened. Like he's not saying this in Jacksonville, Florida. He's saying this in the capital of the United States. So I don't know, man. Some people just don't think before they speak.
Hey, it's a certain demographic that doesn't face consequences, and he's one of those.
The ick is real. Nah. Defensive tackle Aaron Donald and wide receiver Cooper Kupp get big raises from LA Rams in reworked contracts.
Yuck.
Big bucks.
Can we hit the yes, sir?
Yuck.
Is it not on there? Okay.
Yuck.
Yes, sir. Yes,
There
sir.
we go.
Yuck.
There
That's
we
how you feel, Q?
There
Yuck.
we go.
Man, look, Super Bowl MVP. Arguably, and I'm not even hating, one of the best receivers. Like he's always open. I'm just gonna put it out there. But the money that these guys are getting is like crazy. Now, I just want to clarify some things. There's people out there that think that Aaron Donald is is the best defensive lineman one of the best defensive linemen of all time, if not the best. I don't think that. I will always say that it's Lawrence Taylor. But yeah, it's deserving, I guess. I don't know what y'all think, but it's deserving. You know.
I mean, I'm not gonna put money next to how good a player is and if they're the greatest of all time. But
Yeah.
if you got pretty much $100 million, like that speaks volumes for one, and especially at a D line position,
Right.
Like that's big. But I mean, I love it for them. But where are the Rams getting all this money? Did they get $1 billion from the Live? like
they paying folks.
I mean, where are they getting all this money? Because clearly they stole a bag from St. Louis.
Well, they got to keep up with the gas prices out there. I can't imagine out there. We think it's hurting here.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Now, Simone Biles, former U.S. gymnast, seeking over $1 billion from FBI over Larry Nasser Case. Roughly 90 women, including four-time Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles, seek a settlement in excess of $1 billion from the FBI over its handling of the allegations against the former gymnastics team doctor.
Look at that. Look at, guys, if you're watching the show, look at your tax dollars at work, because this is not coming out of the FBI's pocket or Larry Nasser's pocket.
Yeah. I don't, because they won their previous case, right, against Larry Nasser.
Yep.
So this is another $1 billion that they're going for. Wow.
Steve said, if I already got $1 billion, I'm fine. Clearly, you are the only one in that boat.
If you're a billionaire, you're not paying for nothing anyway. So your $1 billion is going to stay there. Like, it's going to last you for 100 lifetimes.
I mean,
you ever seen anybody go broke from being a billionaire?
I mean, I don't know, because I've never known a billionaire.
Like, we need some rich friends, Q.
Sorry, like I don't know them, but no, this just shows the weight of the case. Like the FBI definitely fumbled, and they fumbled off of the basis of it being women. So again, we look at the inequalities not only in sports, but we're looking at the inequalities for women in the justice system, and especially when it comes to rape and sexual assault. So again, I mean, the waves of this, like, and what is it, 2016, 2015?
2015,
the allegations started. So now we're looking at, almost 7-8 years later, and still like correcting a lot of the mistakes. So it just shows the weight of, people like Larry Nasser and Jack Del Rio, the type of rope that they're given and the type of trust that they're given when they're really just terrible people.
And 90 women. I feel like that speaks to it too, which is insane. And I know, of course, this is just getting so much attention because it is Olympic athletes, but at the same time, I feel like we've looked at the case with NFL with Texans Deshaun Watson, and it's like I hope that this gets the same attention that it does and that it deserves too, because I know that it's been going on for so long, but at the same time, I feel like this needs more focus and attention, and they're demanding that with bringing this case back up, and hey, it wasn't done right, and I'm glad that it's getting done correctly, hopefully.
No, definitely. I just wish it came out of their pockets instead of citizens.
But the other thing too is that FBI, I mean, they have insurance. So I don't feel like it'll come from tax dollars. It'll come from whatever the insurance company that they have, right? The government. They come from their insurance.
And where does the government?
I'm saying the
money?
government, whatever kind of insurance, whatever insurance that they have like insurance like this. Let's just say one of the FBI agents shoots a person, and it's coming from their insurance, not the tax dollars. I'm hoping, right?
And that's why I'm making this face, because Steve,
I feel like it'll come from insurance.
No,
negligence. It's that's where your insurance comes into play. Right, when you're negligent, you're not pulling it from tax dollars. You're pulling it from whoever insurance.
After the show, get on Google,
look,
and find out where the FBI gets their funding.
Oh, I know where it's public. They get public funding, but still, if you're negligent, you have an insurance company that backs your company. Like FBI is still a company, so they have an insurance company that's going to say, "All right, you guys were negligent. You're getting sued. Therefore, we're going to have to pay out of our insurance dollars." Now, do the insurance company have $1 billion policy? I don't think so. So then they'll probably have to pull some funds from. They're going to have to look. We're going to have to get out there and sell some of these. Dinners.
Steve, you're just going to keep talking to say what I'm trying to tell you.
The FBI going to be out on Prospect selling dinners to raise this billion.
No, they aren't. They're just going to take it from the black community like they always do.
Yeah, that's true. But in all seriousness, no, man, I hope that they're able to finally put this thing to bed in all seriousness.
Definitely. Now we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we'll discuss LA Lakers announced Darvin Ham as new coach. Keep it locked in. This is W Show. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City!
Don't be depressed, frustrated, or stressed because of the loss of a loved one. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services is here to assist you with a smooth, stress-free transition. It doesn't matter how your loved one transitioned, we will offer you a memorable celebration to your liking. We are a family-friendly, full-service funeral home right here in the heart of the city, offering affordable cremations and package pricing and quality service. Call us when you need us. 816-231-GATE. That's 816-231-4283. There's only one Golden Gate, located at 2800 East 18th Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
Are you ready to take your gaming experience to the next level? Max Adrenaline Mobile Video Gaming is here to offer the best mobile entertainment that includes video games, laser tag, and karaoke. Our mobile video game theater offers a 33-foot climate-controlled luxury RV with 5 gaming stations, and we can accommodate up to 20 players at once. Are you looking for entertainment at your next event? Well, look no further. We'll come to you. Specializing in birthday parties for all ages, sports events, team building, corporate events, school functions, holiday parties, and more. We're here when you need us at 816-897-0509 or maxadrenalinekc.com.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag talk about it, message us, and we will talk about whatever topic you want.
Man, Broderick in his bag this morning. Okay.
Hey, he said it's too easy.
Hey, I need a little bit of credit.
Okay.
I need a little bit of credit on that one. Now, Los Angeles Lakers announced Darvin Ham as new coach and praised his nonsense approach. Let's hear it.
Steve.
Yeah, this Darvin Ham. I like the coach of the new coach of the Lakers. Right, in his interview, he talked about like, look, I've been shot in the face. I'm pretty much fearless. I'm first of all, he said he's going to keep Russ. He said that there's a lot of guys in the front office in his coaching circle that he's going to have to let go, and he's already done that. And I feel like this is going to be my initial thought when they got Darvin. I'm like, man, who's going to listen to him? This is still going to be LeBron's team. It's still going to be, run by LeBron James. And I got to hearing him in his interview, and I'm like, man, maybe this may be a good move. And so I'm curious to see how this all works out. I hope, a lot of times when they do their interviews, their press interviews at the beginning, when, whether it's a new guy to the team or whether it's a new coach, they're going to say all the right things. Mm-hmm. They've talked to the PR staff or whatever team that they're with. And I'm sure Darvin Ham has talked to the front office of the Lakers and their PR. It's like, all right, now I know what I need to say. I know what Laker fans want to hear. And so I think, it may be a little bit of both, but I think that they're going to actually listen to Darvin Ham because he has some, great coaching attributes that he can offer. So,
and I mean, if you are a current NBA player, would you rather a coach be Steve Nash or Darvin
Ham? Just off of pure naming, I would say Steve Nash. Just our pure name, I would have said Steve Nash. But looking how Steve Nash is now, knowing what I know now, it's like, all right, I'd rather try out Darvin Ham. He looks like me. He's been through the struggle. All right, but just off pure name and who he is, I would have said Steve Nash.
I mean, yeah, and that's where people mess up. That's where that's where the fall comes, because we're looking at the name and not actually the attributes. Like Darvin Ham, I'm not too sure of his coaching experience, but I'm pretty sure it's more than Steve Nash. And then when you on top of career in coaching, again, you talk about relatability,
right?
Especially being a black man that has been through the league. So again, just that relatability when you look at, what is it, Udoka, the coach in Boston versus a Brad Stevens,
right?
So there are different tangibles within that, especially when you are a coach for a franchise like the Lakers. And I like the move because it's a step in the right direction. Like, you're giving guys that have gone through the process of being an assistant on different teams, learning how,
and he's minority,
to be a coach, how to lead men, because it's not like college basketball where you have, people like Mike Krzyzewski that's, they grow this reputation off of, being the head honcho over 18 and 19-year-old players.
Right.
Then you have a guy that comes in that, can get on the same page with LeBron and have a mutual respect from a coach and a player. So yeah, I like the move because I want to see more of this. I don't want to see the Brad Stevens, the nerds, the
nerds,
the guys that were, you started off as the manager for your high school basketball team, and then you became the stats guy in college, and then you became like an intern.
I don't think there's any more of that though. I
don't think
not in the league, not in the NBA.
Steve, stop it. And not in the NBA, but definitely in college. But it was getting that way in the NBA, and now the NBA is reversing course, because even in college, just from Penny getting a coaching job and Juwan Howard, it's the relatability for these players, and they don't want somebody that's again, like a Coach K or Nick Saban, that it's hard to relate to them. So now you're pulling up to people's houses with hot sauce in your bag, like sir. So
yeah,
but no, I love it.
Now, NBA Finals talk. We got into it before the show. Warriors versus Celtics, Game 4 last night in Boston. What did you guys think?
Last night I felt like, and I don't know, people that follow me on Twitter, they kind of got to me and were like, hey, We were watching your tweets, and me personally, I said that it's going to be the Celtics in 7. I said at the beginning of the season, I was like, it's going to be Celtics, Phoenix. Phoenix going to give them a run for their money, but I like Jason Tatum and I like Jaylen Brown. Like, I understand what they're capable of. That 1-2 punch. I mean, they're just too good. And so watching them in game 3, I'm like, all right, it's a wrap. They've got to win. Everybody wants to get a win. We talked about it before the show. Everybody wants to get a win on the road. You need to get that one win on the road, and you're able to parlay that into, getting a couple wins at home, and then you look up and you're NBA champion. And so when you look at how the Celtics were playing, they're shooting too good. And the fact that Steph Curry, I watched him play game 3, and I'm like, man, if he's not hitting threes, then what else is he good at? Like, most guys, if they're not hitting threes, they're going to try to get to the cup, get a foul, get to the foul line. All right, now it's going to open up. Now I see the ball go through the hoop a little bit, and now it's going to open up other things, open up my game. But Steph Curry, he's going to shoot and shoot and shoot. And greatest shooter of all time, so it's not a bad thing at all. However, he just looked like he didn't want to be there. Like, you're not getting production from Clay. You weren't getting the production from Wiggins. And Jordan Poole. A lot of people talk about pool party, all this. Well, the pool was dry. You weren't getting anything from Jordan Poole either. So if Steph doesn't go out there and score 40 to 50 points, 30 points a night, it's going to be a long day. And that's what I felt like it was going to be. But so game 4, I'm like, all right, Steph's coming out here hitting. He's got 22 in the first half. He's got 30, going 31 in the end of the third, and ends up with 40. So, and I'm like, all right, Steph put him on his back. He really did. And so at the end of the game, you get 3 minutes left, and you have Jaylen Brown, who has the ball at the top of the key, and they're settling for threes. And I'm like, you're down 3. Go to the basket. That's what you've lived off of this whole game. Go to the basket, possibly get a foul, or just cut it to 1, and now you're still in the ball game. You don't have to Marcus Smart throwing up a 3, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, White, all of them throwing up threes. I'm like, man, go to the basket, get it inside to Horford, let him do his thing. But yeah, it to me now. So it's tied up 2-2. They're gonna go back to Golden State. I think they're gonna get that one. They haven't lost 2 in a row. They're playing well in a row. So I think it's still open, for Boston to pull this thing out.
No, definitely. And the first game, I wasn't when Boston came out shooting like they did, I wasn't expecting that again. And at the start of the series, I thought that they would at least steal 2 games.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it to be 2-2 at this point.
3-1.
But I love it, because when you look at the nucleus of the Celtics, Smart, Jaylen Brown, when you look at those young guys, those 3 young guys, they're similar to the Warriors, and especially how the Warriors started out with this young nucleus of 3 guys that built this team into what we know them to be now. And I feel like, I won't say the Celtics are on the verge of being like a dynasty like that, but they are a good team with a nucleus that can play with somewhat of a hobbled Golden State. I won't give them all of that. Like, I won't give them, like they're actually hurt, because we're not getting a Clay that we're used to. Yeah. But they said it on the wire. One thing about the old days is they the old days, because again, we're in a totally new day.
Yeah.
You have a fierce Marcus Smart that's just, I like, you can't get rid of him. And then the Celtics have a couple of different like players on the squad that.
And I was telling Draymond saying Draymond has wrote them some checks that they can't. He's written some checks that they ain't able to cash.
I mean, that,
like, you got the whole Draymond thing, and I'm like, man, you need a guy that's. Everybody needs a guy on the team that's like, what is he thinking? He always has that "what are you thinking" moment. Yeah, need that guy. But at some point, you got to be able to put some production with it.
Yeah,
you can't come out and have 2 points. You can't come out and let Jaylen Brown have straight line drive after straight line drive after straight line drive and not be able to play D. And so to me.
And then you got Al Horford that's,
killing.
The opposite of Draymond.
Yeah.
Like, he's not talking much, but he's killing. He's producing.
Yep.
And that's a tough thing about Draymond, but this is a good series. I'm glad that it's good basketball.
Thanks. Now, Walmart's Rob Walton's $4.65 billion offer accepted by Denver Broncos. We talking a lot of money today.
A lot of money. Them bees is out there.
Well, that's $4 billion. So I mean, Steve's cool with his one. So
Yep.
He wouldn't even want to go there. But no, again, it's a new day in sports. And I'm not too familiar with the ownership in Denver previous. But I'm interested to see what Rob Walton comes in and does with this franchise. Like, it was a surprise to me for them to go and get Russell Wilson.
I didn't even know they were for sale, to be honest.
Do you think they was gonna call you? What?
Wow.
Wow. Just checking.
We're thinking about putting it on the market.
No, but I like this sale because we're getting new ownership in the NFL, and I mean, even though it's the Waltons, they don't even pay Walmart staff a livable wage. So hopefully they pay Broncos staff a livable wage. But
well, Q woke up and chose violence this morning.
Q's like the neighborhood Robin Hood. He want everybody to get paid. Like, he like, man, we for the people. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, you got to give back what you stole.
No, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we'll have our Hate It or Love It segment. Kick it off with our Sneakers of the Week. This is the W Show. We'll be right back.
Into the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC WeSpin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC WeSpin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC WeSpin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC WeSpin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Don't be depressed, frustrated, or stressed because of the loss of a loved one. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services is here to assist you with a smooth, stress-free transition. It doesn't matter how your loved one transitioned, we will offer you a memorable celebration to your liking. We are a family-friendly, full-service funeral home right here in the heart of the city, offering affordable cremations and package pricing and quality service. Call us when you need us. 816-231-GATE. That's 816-231-4283. There's only one Golden Gate, located at 2800 East 18th Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
Are you ready to take your gaming experience to the next level? Max Adrenaline Mobile Video Gaming is here to offer the best mobile entertainment that includes video games, laser tag, and karaoke. Our mobile video game theater offers a 33-foot climate-controlled luxury RV with 5 gaming stations, and we can accommodate up to 20 players at once. Are you looking for entertainment at your next event? Well, look no further. We'll come to you. Specializing in birthday parties for all ages, sports events, team building, corporate events, school functions, holiday parties, and more. We're here when you need us at 816-897-0509 or maxadrenalinekc.com.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag TalkAboutIt. Message us and we'll talk about whatever topic you want.
It's that time for Love It or Hate It.
Hate it.
If we love it, we talk about it. If we hate it, we move on.
Starting off the sneakers of the week this week, we got the Nike Air Max 1 Blueprints.
I like these.
I'm digging them.
Oh yeah, these are hard.
Yeah, I really do. I really like these.
I'm gonna admit, Steve is making me an Air Max guy over the years.
I'd rock them, definitely. These are, I was on the fence beginning, but now I'm starting to like them. I'd rock them.
Really?
Adidas Easy Foam Runner Onyxes.
When you see them in person, man,
For a summer shoe, yes,
Yep.
I would definitely rock them. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the they got like a Volt green color, and red ones. Yeah, these are dope. These are dope.
Yeah, I'm not going. They're poo.
Really?
They're
Poop
comfortable
emoji.
though. They're comfortable.
They're probably comfortable. Poop emoji though.
You could definitely make a fit out of these, though.
You could.
Something basic, but then you throw these with it for a summer vibe. It's a flex. It's a flex.
I still ain't seen nobody wear these and be like, oh, okay.
Next, Nike Air Max Dawn SEs.
I like these. They're women's, but I'd wear them.
I like them because they're ugly. Sometimes something is so ugly it looks good. That's the fear of God shoes for me.
Yeah.
They're so ugly, I like them.
Okay. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
I think these are Q's favorite right here. The Hello Kitties.
The Hello Kitty Nike Air Presto.
You know it. Oh, for sure.
I could totally see you rocking those for sure.
Yes. And I'd put a red bow in my hair just to match Hello Kitty. What? With
Love
some
it.
Hoochie Daddy shorts?
Not the shorts.
Man.
Now, the Serena Williams design crew covers the Nike Air Force One Low in rich blues. Hate it or love it.
Hate these.
Man.
I hate them.
She
I
said
hate to say I
tripping
hate
in LA with these.
Yeah. The zippers. It's the zippers for me.
I mean, only thing I like about these shoes is the bottom, like the translucent bottom. Any shoe that has translucent bottom, you got my money. But these, no.
Yeah, that zipper gotta go.
Yeah. Not it. It kind of gives me like third grade vibes when your mom still had a zipper
Oh,
on for you.
it definitely does.
Yeah.
Zipper or Velcro? Which one would y'all rather have?
Probably Velcro because it's
Velcro.
gonna hide that zipper. You can't hide that zipper,
and it's gold.
That's because as soon as this came on the screen, that zipper slapped me in the face.
Fanatics Tops announces trading card deal with schools, college athletes, and NIL milestone. Hate it or love it.
I love it. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. I know, Kay, you posted, I think they tweeted out they're doing some stuff with Tops where they're going to have, their trading cards are going to be for their athletes now. And so now you're going to be able to get not only rookie cards, but you're going to be able to get cards from guys that were in school, that killed in college.
Yeah.
So, and they're going to be able to get paid off of it too. So I like it. I really do.
I mean, and the good thing about NIL is that now we get to see the money that moves sports.
Mm-hmm.
True.
35 colleges across the U.S. Alabama, Georgia, Kentucky, Miami, Texas A&M, KU.
Yeah, the Tops.
Yep.
Love it.
Pun. Big pun.
5 Tampa Bay Rays players declined to wear LGBTQ logo on uniform during Pride Night celebration. Hate it or love it.
I hate it because again, these are people like Jack Del Rio that don't stand on their opinions. Like they try to dance around it. Like if you're homophobic, just say that. Don't bring the Bible into it because if that's the case, you're not eating shellfish. Like that's forbidden in the Bible. I think it's like what is it like wearing it's not cotton, it's like some other thread.
Rayon.
It's something. It's not rayon, but it's something that you're not supposed to wear that's in the Bible.
Oh, yeah.
So again, they're just hypocrites and just say you're homophobic and go on about your day. Like
yeah, the thing about it too is just the fact that you have the pride flag on your jersey, but like it's not, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, for you to just wear it, it's
Hey, bigots have long days.
LeBron James Family Foundation to open I Promise Healthcare Center. Hate it or love it.
Love it.
How could you hate it?
Love it. I hope.
Ask Steve.
I hope that they're able to figure out. Hope that they're going to be able to figure out like some free healthcare type stuff. Kind of. there's some healthcare companies that are throughout the U.S. that they offer, some discounted healthcare rates and things like that. So I hope that and I'm sure they'll be able to offer some services for primary healthcare.
Man, because it's better to have this than DaVita Dialysis Center that's in the hood all over America.
Man.
Now, former NFL star Michael Vick lands new job with athlete management firm. Hate it or love it?
I love it for Mike.
I
love it for him. I mean, and in athlete management, you want a guy that was on top and fell from grace, and being able to come back. Yeah, he's pouring into his community, and I love it.
Definitely.
Yeah, and he's going to be able to help guys deal with their financials too, because you guys got to remember, Vic had $100 million Nike deal.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure, and I read something where he talked about everybody pulling him each and every different way, family members pulling him for different things, and he's going to be able to help these guys, these big time athletes, understand the financial side of it and why they're in college. And we talk about NIL deals all the time, so these guys need to figure out someone to talk to that they're able to manage their money.
Yeah, and I mean the financial side, but you'll get somebody that's a mentor for life.
Yeah,
true. For your day to day. So I love it.
Definitely. And who better to listen to than to somebody like him?
Yeah, so. And they also want a big name person to be the forefront of their company that can say, all right, you're able to go in and talk to the Walmarts of the world or whoever to help us bring in some money so we can divvy it out to these athletes.
And now I got to go back and watch that Atlanta episode with Mike Vick in it.
Yep. Yep.
Now, Duke hires former Nike NBA staffer Rachel Baker as GM to aid players with NIL. Hate it or love it?
Love it. Another guy, woman or person that has huge ties to companies. I mean, she was an NBA exec. She knows how to, balance a budget. She knows how to go out there and talk to different companies and bring in revenue. So I think now you're going to see more and more colleges bringing people on staff to go out there and talk to these companies. I was talking to a former basketball player that used to play high school here. He went on to play at a huge D1 school. Now he's with a Big 12 team. And I talked to him at the Big 12 tournament. And he's like, I was just asking him, like, all right, man, what are you going to be doing as far as you want to move up into the coaching ranks? He said, nah, man, right now I'm just here we're trying to figure out how we're going to be able to get these NIL deals. And that's going to be my primary focus after this season is done. Is like, I'm going to be talking to the car dealerships, talking to, the mom and pop shops around the city that we're in. So that way we're able to bring in some of these top guys.
Yeah. And you have to, because again, it's money that moves sports.
Definitely. And I love it for the small businesses and businesses locally, like getting tagged onto names like that and just putting them on the map too. I think it'll be a team effort. It's not necessarily just focused on the athletes, which I think is huge for the communities too.
No, definitely.
Trevante Rhodes is Mike Tyson in Hulu limited series. Hate it or love it?
I love it. I love it for Trevante. I like that kid. He's coming up in the world of acting.
Yeah.
And I think this is separate from the one Jamie Foxx talked about.
I didn't know Jamie Foxx was talking about one.
Jamie Foxx did an interview probably about 2 years ago. And, he was talking about the intro to the Mike Tyson movie that, he was envisioning, or maybe that, whatever it was. But I think this is different. So but I love it.
Me too. The thing about this too is the fact that I want a series like a small series like this to be able to go in depth and actually have the okay from Mike Tyson. Talk about how his relationships with women, and talk about the relationship. True. But talk about his relationships with his trainer. Talk about just going to depth of like the mental illness side of things, because he's dealt with a lot of that on both sides of it too. So I hope it does. And like you talk about, it's gonna be tough because Hulu is gonna take a lot of heat from that too if they do.
Because it's gonna be tough for Mike to sign off on telling intimate details, because I mean he has domestic violence and some sexual assault behind him. True, it's pretty bad. So
true. All right, we appreciate everyone who hung out with us on today's show. You still have some time. Come down here. The Keystone Innovation District is where we are, right here on 18th Street. Come down. A lot of vendors down here. We're going to be going to what time, Q?
4
till 4. Yep. Opening up the doors right now at noon. If you guys are in the area, even if you're not, if you're at home looking for something to do on this nice Saturday, come down, hang out, patronize some of the vendors that are down here.
Definitely.
Until next week, we are out of here. Peace.
Co-hosts, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundations, or affiliates.